Oh, we gotta turn that light on over there, please.
Right.
Yeah, that way people can see our beautiful faces. And popping, and we got pretty sure we can just, let's try this.
I should probably share it on my Facebook too.
Damn, yeah. You have any time limits today?
Not really.
Me either. Let's get weird. And do we have to change? Here we go. This is number 4. Yeah. Fucking cuatro. Alright, and what should we describe it as?
Citrus and F talking. Or, yeah.
What are we talking about today?
That's a great question, man. I have no idea.
Alright. Pick something off the cuff. Let's go technology and what do you think?
Animals.
Animals. Dig it. Okay, cool.
Animal technology.
Oh my god. Maybe even animal technology. And animatech. Oh my god. We're making up names.
That's the right word right there. Animatech.
Cyborgs called.
That's official. Look it up.
Animatech. Fuck reptilians. This is the real threat.
I don't know about that, man.
Dude, for
Shape-shifting reptilians are some menacing motherfuckers.
But dude, imagine a shape-shifting reptilian robot.
Yeah, that would be way more terrifying.
Fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
Nobody could handle that shit.
Right. Because I can at least shoot a fucking reptilian with a shotgun. I don't know if that would stop a robot, though.
No, I mean, we've seen Terminator.
Right,
We've seen RoboCop.
They just keep walking.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's... Well, Iron Man doesn't really count as a robot. Alright, so... how dope would it be if they made Iron Man suits? I would totally get one. Like, if I could just go get one.
Yeah.
Just, like, mob around.
That'd
be
be
sick.
That would be a wild world.
What would you do with your Iron Man suit if you had one?
Well, okay, does everyone get an Iron Man suit? Or am I like the Iron Man? I'm the only guy with the suit.
I mean, okay, let's start off, you're just the only guy with the suit.
Okay.
Presumably you made it to defend the world just like Tony Stark, right? Or no, you just got a wild hair and made it?
yeah, I could dig it.
For what?
Yeah, man, that's a tough one because I could very easily go out of control and be tyrannical, which is way more fun of an answer. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, it'd probably be a burden because I would just feel responsible for helping the world like Iron Man is, you know?
But would you feel responsible? Why would you feel... I mean, in his case, he was building, weapons and, he wanted to rectify
Right. I got nothing to rectify, but if I'm just, like, flying along and I see, like, a cruise ship split in half, I'm gonna go seal it up and...
Really?
Yeah.
So you got to imagine, though, how much do you think it costs to operate the Iron Man suit for an hour? And how long do you think it's going to take Iron Man suit to put that whole thing together? And who's going to pay you for your time?
I mean, I figured by the time I got the Iron Man suit figured out, I'd have my finances figured out.
That's true.
If I can't manage both, then, you know, I guess the cruise ship is fucked.
So I guess
then I'm probably robbing a cruise ship.
Look, there's Iron Man. That's great. What a hero. No, he's actually an air pirate.
Put your diamonds in the bag.
Okay, so I guess the question is, how crucial is technology for the world? Is it out of control? Like, you know, people are worried about technological singularity, and that's kind of an idea that technology is out of control, right? So
Totally.
Is it out of control already? At what point? You know, because my uncle works, he does programming, and they're constantly trying to figure out ways to eliminate clicks. Mouse clicks, because that's too much work.
Wow.
That's, you know, mouse clicks is an opportunity for somebody to be distracted.
Okay.
So, you know, as so I've always wondered, does technology go too far? Do we push it too far? Is there some point when it's like, do we need a new iPhone every 2 years?
Okay, so in my opinion, the progression of technology is ultimately a good thing. It's a part of human evolution. Like, you know, some animals are evolving with like an extra long claw or something. We're evolving with better technology, and we're evolving around that technology, you know? So I think that there's a learning period and there's a growth period where we gotta learn the balance of our natural origins and how important they are to, you know, our psychology. Like, going out in the woods and fucking camping for a weekend is really good for you. It's good to be surrounded by nature because the color schemes are actually good for your psychology. But the advancement of technology does so many wonderful, like, so much is at our fingertips now, you know? There is just a world of information. If I have a question about anything, it's right there. I have the answer for it, which is, like, we've never been more interconnected ever. I think the world is better because of it. We just got some kinks to work out, basically, because now kids are addicted to phones and shit. I know I'm addicted to screens. I don't even have a smartphone. And I look at my phone just to check the chime, like, way more often than I need to. And if I'm not looking at my phone, I'm probably looking at my laptop. And, you know, it's definitely, like, screens are addictive.
And so what about the screens are addictive?
That is a great question.
So I would attribute it to the fact that when we have social interactions and they go the way that we enjoy them, then we are rewarded with oxytocin, which is a hormone, you know, because our brain operates on the reward system. So the oxytocin makes you feel good, and that's how you get the feeling of bonding, you know, among people. And I would imagine that you sort of feel that. You definitely feel that if you have a post on some social media that gets a lot of views or a lot of, you know, positivity, or you just get like a rush maybe of adrenaline or just some sort of satisfaction when you stir up the pot. You put something out there that doesn't get a lot of positivity, maybe it gets a lot of negativity, and people are like, oh, you know, fuck this guy, he's a piece of shit, and you're like sitting back going, yeah, I am a piece of shit, now I'm back to work, ruined everybody's day, and now I'm back to mine, feeling fucking chief, you know, Chief Smuggy, you know, show me how to smuggy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think that Facebook, like, there's been studies that show that if you stop having a Facebook profile, like, happiness levels go up. Like, your depression goes away. At least for a lot of people. And I think there's something to be said for that. It's like, you don't have to have eye contact or, any sort of awkward social interaction that you can't handle because it's all within the parameters of your screen and keyboard. You can decide what you look at, what you don't look at. And yeah, it's...
Okay. Well, but I would say even aside from screen technology, there's other types of technology perhaps that are like going too far, in my opinion. Like, I think of a lot of cars, new cars these days, they come with these, you know, seat heating packages and steering wheel heating packages, and you're like,
fucking toaster and
why do I need this?
mixer.
Yeah, I mean, you realize that, like, our grandparents, okay, grew up without cars. All right. Now we gotta have heated steering wheels all of a sudden, like, and a lot of times you don't even get the choice now. Like, this is coming in cars. They come this way, and you're like, now cars cost this much money, and it's like, I'm sure I could get a cheaper car without that stuff, right? Like, I'll wear gloves. I'm cool with that. Lots of people did it before. They used to ride horse and buggy. Those things weren't even covered, you know? You just throw a scarf on and you go. I mean, I get it. It's not...
For sure.
You know.
I don't know. I think that with cars, people got to profit, so they always got to do some new addition to the new next thing. But ultimately, I think we're moving towards self-driving cars, and I also think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I fucking hate driving.
Like,
jeez, I hate driving.
It's going to be way better. Now, there are some scary, like, Skynet fucking worries in there. If, like, somebody wanted to hack the system, and like, I drive all the cars now.
Oh, man, if somebody could just kidnap you and just, like, you're, like, in a video game. They're, like, playing a video game, but with, like, real people, and you're... Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Dude,
the idea of that is fucking terrifying. Like, hopefully they troubleshoot that scenario.
Well, I mean, how often are major corps getting hacked? And
right.
Sometimes they don't even tell us about it. So
totally.
Whatever. They'll just attribute it to some guy being off kilter. Never mind, whatever. That would be fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of it, though.
Yeah, we're better hackers. That's
yeah, we'll just hack them back.
Just hack them back.
Yeah, dude.
Simple solution.
Yeah, dude. We'll make whatever they're doing.
They hacked my hacking. How am I supposed to keep control of the situation when they hack my hacking?
It's terrible. Yeah, it's what a conundrum. I don't know. But I do like the idea of the self-driving cars. I mean, I don't like to drive. I don't like the way that you drive at all. It fucking sucks. And look at just right then, my sister-in-law's picture pops up on the, alerting me of a message on Facebook. And let me tell you, she's the reason why we need self-driving cars, dude, for sure. Right.
I trust the robots more than I trust the humans. They might make mistakes like 0.1% of the time, but they're generally more on point than we are.
And it seems ridiculous that it's taken this long to do it.
Right. Well, I think we have the technology for it. It's just funding, jobs being let off, and all of that complication that prevents them from taking that step.
Pretty sure Knight Rider had that capability.
Knight Rider.
Oh, get out of here. You're showing your lack of age. How about, the Batmobile.
You're right. Yeah, right. Totally.
Bruce Wayne has been able to do this, guys. Let's get on this. Let's totally get on this. Like, since the 50s, he's been able to do this. Jeez Louise. Dick Tracy? Didn't Dick Tracy, he, had the first smartwatch way back in the day?
Yeah.
Or the first communicator watch?
There's somebody on Joe Rogan's podcast, I totally forgot who it was, but he was saying that his car is, pretty self-driving. He, was on the freeway for an hour and a half, and all he had to do was keep his finger on a button, and it just sort of, pick the lowest.
Dude, but how annoying would it be to push on that button? Again, okay, this is why my uncle makes the big bucks, man, eliminating button pushing. What the fuck? I gotta push a button like...
You know,
like this?
He didn't elaborate. It might have just been like a sensor on the steering wheel or something.
Oh, so I'm still... this is what I'm trying to avoid. I don't want to do any of this. This is what I want to do.
Yep.
Or pull out my screen.
With a margarita.
Yeah! Yeah! And you get... I don't know, officer. I wasn't driving. Obviously, I'm drinking. I left all that to the computer. But you were supposed to be paying attention.
Would people get pulled over anymore? Would that job be eliminated?
Fuck, wow. It's hard to think.
Because, I mean, people would still probably smuggle drugs and shit in the self-driving cars. Like, you still want to catch that.
So they would just, borders they would just reallocate that manpower, it would be more for, border stops and things like that. Yeah, to check for drugs. But think about this. I saw a report one time. I wish I had more information about it. But they were talking about how much money in gas and how much tonnage in carbon output self-driving cars would save in parking lots. The idea is that they could be linked up to apps that already exist that you can find dope parking spaces very quickly. And so basically you would eliminate a lot of the driving around. The car would just know, this is where I'm going, and other cars would be alerted to that signal and they would automatically be going to where they need to go.
For sure.
So that'd be pretty fucking amazing. That's one of the things I hate the most about driving is finding a place to park, especially in Denver. Dude, so my daughter came up to see the fam, or to see me for Halloween, and I got to hang out with her and her cousin and her mom up in Denver, and we decided to go shopping one night at the mall. I don't remember what mall it was. It was downtown though, or near downtown area. Anyway, we're in there. It's hard to find parking spaces. Anywhere downtown, you have to pay to park. Well, I'll find out that you have to pay to park here at this mall also, and it was just kind of whack. We're like, driving around looking for places, and finally found a spot to park. We go in, we hang out for a while, and as we're leaving, there's this lady there, and she's parked kind of in front of us, and she gets out of her car and says, "Excuse me, can you tell me where the west parking lot is?" And we're on the east side of the building. I know this because the sun sets in the west, and it was setting when we got there. And that's where it was setting, We were on the opposite side. It's easy math. Or geology? Is that geology? Or navigation? Navigation. We'll call it navigation. Because that sounds right to me.
For sure.
I didn't even use a sextant or anything, man. I just... Oh, cool. Over there. All right. So, also, if you live in Denver, you know that the mountains are to the west. So if anything is between you and the mountains, you are to the east of the thing that's between you and the thing that's farthest west.
Totally.
So she asked this, and these are all the thoughts running through my head at the moment. And luckily, my daughter's mom was there, and she was, I don't know. We're not really from here. And the lady goes, yeah, because this sign says east, and my friend says she's waiting for me at the west parking lot. So I was like, yeah. Actually, they just spelled west wrong on this sign. So we got in our car and left. Just good luck with that one, lady. Yeah.
They just spelled west.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So anyway, technology could definitely have helped her out.
Yes.
But the question
100%.
is, technology has helped her survive this long.
Oh yeah, where the fuck would we be if we were just left stranded without any electricity? The grid fucking breaks down, and everyone takes all the valuable shit, and you're kind of just down to bare bones. How long do you think it would take you to make a fucking cell phone? Leave me stranded on an island. It would take me 1,000,000 years to figure out a fucking cell phone.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, shit. I mean, here's the okay. Your fucking plane goes down, right? And you're stranded on this island. Make a fire.
Yeah, that one. That's day one, and that's probably not going to go very smoothly.
Once you're done with that, make dinner. Fuck! Dude, man, cannibalism never sounded so easy. Are you kidding me? Bunk! Oh, that was easy. Bunk! Oh. I mean, really, what is there to worry about? It's just going to come down to the last man standing anyway. I mean, this way it's a little more interesting, right? Guys, I haven't seen any pigs on this island at all. Yeah, but there's a fat guy. He was sitting back out. Dude, you didn't want to see me on the Lord of the Flies. Fuck that shit, dude. Did you ever see the movie?
I did.
What a weird... Like, when you're reading the book, it's cool, man. It's totally cool. But when you see the movie, a bunch of half-clad boys running around... Man, put some fucking clothes on. Like, they're stranded, dude. What do you want? Well, I want it to just feel less pedophile. That's all. Like, goddamn, they're 8-year-olds in loincloths.
I feel like the tension on the pedophile thing has never been higher. Like
right.
Like a kid looks at you and walks up to you. You used to be like, "Hey kid, how you doing?" You could rub him on the head and shit. You didn't worry about it. Now it's like, get that thing away from me.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking terrible.
I can't front. That bit was on Bill Burr. Like that was so good.
Dude, I work at a gym. It's actually a family health club, and it's pretty much all I can say. It's pretty dope, but we have some very specific rules about, how to behave around minors, and it's for their protection and for our protection also, so that we're not accused of anything. And one of the rules is no alone time, and this is for anybody that works where there may be, minors around. These are all just good rules to keep in mind, and they're all pretty common sense, and I know I had never thought of them before, so I'm glad to have these around. But one of them is no alone time, so you never want to be in a room alone with a child where people cannot see you. If you're in a room, it has to be like a fishbowl, what they call, glass windows all the way, like clear windows all the way around, so people can see in. It's obviously smart, whatever. But when we go into the locker rooms, which I often have to do, I'm a maintenance man, so I have to do some repairs and double checking in there. We have to ask, hey, is there anybody in here? Yeah. How many? What? If it's just one, you're not allowed in. Right? Because it becomes your word against theirs, blah, blah. If it's 2 or more, you can go in, because then it's, more, I guess bad stuff doesn't happen when there's 2 or more kids. I don't know how that works really. But I always make a joke about it. At first, it feels really weird, like, oh, anybody in here? Yeah, how many here? 1. Okay, I'll wait. And the kid is going, or he might be going, yes, because, he's all gangly and doesn't, self-conscious or whatever. But, other times it's, 1, 2, there's like 4 of us. Oh, okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't enough to actually beat me up. They get a kick out of it. But you gotta know. But yeah, the tension, I feel like the tension is high. There's a lot of times, because there are kids there, and I've traditionally been a kid-friendly dude, and normally I wear my mustache curled up.
For sure.
I'm not doing that right now because I'm shooting a time-lapse video, and it's too hard to straighten it back out, for the video. But, oh, hey, kid, and saying hi, and, you get parents look at you. They really do, not all of them, but you do have some parents that wonder, what is this guy talking to my kid for? Like,
right, of course.
No, dude, like, you see the, like, Little Rascals, the way the people interact with the kids there, like, you couldn't get away with that shit,
I don't know how common it is. I think the news puts a little too much attention on it, and that's why everyone's all freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, pedophile's gonna strike in a different way,
Yeah.
Not that I'm an expert on that matter. I don't fucking know how.
So the insurance group that trained us claims, or educated us that it was 1 in 10 kids. If you're in a group of 10 kids, one of them has been or is being abused.
Ugh.
Which is, it's shocking. I see at least 40 kids a day. And it's just, oh God, it's gut-wrenching to think about that.
Right,
and
absolutely.
You kind of go around, you know, eyeballing, you know, like you see certain guys, you know, walk in, you know, maybe they just had a really good day at work and they're just walking with their arm around their son off. And you're like, what the fuck? They're going to the locker room right now?
Right.
For what? To take a shower, they just got to finish working out, dude. Duh. Yeah, right. I'm going to go check it out. just to be sure. All right, they check out. They're just sudsing up. All right, my bad, guys. Code alarm off, my bad. But apparently they caught a guy in you know, one of the locker rooms one time taking pictures of kids, like some 7-year-old guy. And, you know, dude, one time, okay, I used to work at EG's. Shout out to Tucson. Anybody in Tucson, Arizona knows what an EG's is. The rest of y'all, I feel so bad for you.
Yeah, for real, son.
The EG's is the
shit. Go
shit.
to Tucson, get yourself some EG's, and then get out of Tucson.
Yeah, you hit the Wiener Schnitzel though. That's worth it. EG's is a place where you go get grinders and fries, and they serve a thing called an EG's, which is like no slushy you have ever had before. It is totally different than any slushy you've ever had. Bomb. I guarantee you'll love it. Oh my God. Oh, I gotta check my laundry soon. Anyway, I used to work there when I was like 19 or 20. I was working the front, and there was these very attractive young ladies that had ordered, and they were sitting there, and me and the homies were all kind of like, you know, trying to check them out and stuff, whatever. So I'm back there making sandwiches, and my buddy Larry comes back and says, dude, you got to check this out. I'm like, dude, what? I'm busy. He's like, man, I can't even explain it. You have to come check this out. We go up front, and there is this dude in a suit with glasses, but he looks sort of disheveled, and he's laying on the floor with his briefcase. But not just anywhere on the floor, right? So it's summertime in Arizona. Well, anywhere. These girls are wearing flip-flops and skirts, right? And they're young, and there's 4 of them at this table, and this guy is on the floor under their table just looking around.
Oh, God.
Just looking around. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, how long has that guy been there? And they're like, man, he's been there for a minute. I just turned around, and there he was. So I walked over and said, hey, ladies, do you guys know this guy? Who? He gets up, he hits his head on the table, he's like backing out. They're like, oh my God, no! He starts jumping and like running back, like, ah! And he like runs out, and there's a car waiting for him in the parking lot, bro.
What?
And he hops in and they scoot out.
Oh
man.
my God.
Boom! And I'm like,
he had a pot. How do you get someone to help you do that?
dude, what are you doing?
What's in it for the other guy?
What are you doing after work today, bro? Pervin, you want to come?
Pervin? All right, but it's my turn to go under the table.
Yeah, like how many times have they done this, right? And what was the next step? Okay, you're there. Now what? What do you do now? Like ladies, what would you have done if you're sitting there and you're just like eating your grinder with your homegirls, like, oh my God, yeah, it's and just some guy starts sucking on your toes. Now, listen, I get, like, guy under the table, I get it. I understand foot fetish, dude. You're talking to the right guy, okay? But that, really?
Right.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, you gotta let the feet come to you.
Yeah, bro.
You don't just go for the toes under the table. You're right in stomping range.
And is that illegal, what he did?
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
But what did he do wrong?
I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know.
The angle he was at, now trust me, man.
Sexual misconduct, something like that.
He was looking for a pen.
He was looking for a pen.
I dropped my contact and then I kicked it over here somewhere.
If multiple witnesses can attest to him staying there for a long period of time, Dude, like, the fact that he had his briefcase, too, makes me think either he...
steal their sandals?
something, the briefcase seems like it had to be a part of the plan. It seems like it was planned out. Because otherwise, he's just like a well put together dude with a business briefcase, and he's just like, I'm gonna. This table's the perfect spot to look at these ladies.
Yeah,
you know,
nobody will suspect a thing because I'm here to do business.
I better go down quick. Keep my briefcase with me. Like, you know, it's just weird. Like, if you had a guy with a car with you, you could have left the briefcase in the car. It makes me think the briefcase has something to do with the scenario.
That's true, because its getaway probably would have been easier. And I'm wondering, how do you get under the table? Is it like, I mean, it's busy, you know? These chicks are busy. Is it the kind of thing where you open the door and you make a sprint and dive? Or is it like you're sitting there at your own table and obviously you didn't order yet because the dudes would have, you know, recognized you or said something. Like, we would have ended up with a free sandwich, right?
Yeah.
So he obviously didn't order anything. So he got in there without anybody seeing, and then... there he was, getting his shit. Maccabee, what's up, brother? I'll tell you more about the time-lapse video in a second. I have to go change my laundry. This segment has been brought to you by my awesome shirt. Pistols in Paradise, I think, is the brand. And I'll see you later in just a bit.
Word. I guess I'll do my best to entertain y'all.
Entertain you.
Entertain you.
Alright.
I'll entertain Maccabee. That's who I meant to say. What up, man? The real disciples. This is like a disciples meeting right here. It's still happening. I'm about to smoke some of the weed that was grown in my dispensary. You know, I probably watered this plant. I'm more at the other grow, but this is some AC/DC. It's like mostly body high. It's really mostly CBD. Pretty happy about that.
Can't wash my laundry without my laundry card.
Hell yeah. So, yeah, well, what's up, world? How you been? You know, me, I've been good. I, got a lot of new projects in the works. My relationship with my partner is excessively good. Been growing really dank weed at work, breaking records and shit on the THC content. That feels really nice. You know, in general, there's a lot of reasons to be happy right now. And what's funny is, you know, being human, it's so easy to get caught up in shit that shouldn't bother me at all. It's like, I think humans are very fragile creatures. We all like to act like we have our shit together at all times and that everything is fucking perfectly orchestrated and we know exactly what we're doing at every moment of the day, confident in our beliefs and who we are. As for me, every moment of the day is pretty much the opposite of that shit. I'm suffering through some merch. I'm so sorry, Maccabee. Maccabee just told me that he's suffering through some commercial. If you don't know what that is, that's because it's only Tucson slang as far as I know, commercial weed. I wish I could supply you with some of my gross weed right now, man. If you were here, I'd smoke you out hard. We'll have to make that happen sometime soon. What was I talking about? Life shit? Whatever. It doesn't matter. But, you know, if you're ever getting hard on yourself, try to remember all the things that are good, because, like, there's not that much you really have to complain about if you really think about it. You can choose to complain about shit, but you're wasting your time. Most situations you have the power to change. Nah, I don't feel like I'm getting all preachy. Do whatever you want. Hate life. I don't give a fuck. Love your life. Either choice is perfectly viable. I understand both of them. Anyways, sounds like F's gonna be back in the room soon. So, it's been real, y'all. You know, I feel like we had very special moments together. Is this like a tiny samurai blade you got here?
So, yeah, I got it from this dude, Alden Lambert, when I was in high school. I bought a bunch of dope knives from him. And then I got in trouble and my parents found all my knives. And they let me keep that one and got rid of a bunch of other ones. And they recently gave me one back. You know, because I'm an adult now.
Feel like this is like a... You dishonored your family, so you're gonna suicide yourself.
I did actually write, I was just thinking the other day how silly it is that I don't remember what any of those words mean. I actually wrote those on there. I looked them up and I actually don't remember which way is up or down.
Could be all backwards and shit. What fucking Chinese retard made this?
Like, they probably go different directions even. It looks like it.
Yeah, whenever I find out that you don't know what they actually mean, you didn't like look it up, or somebody who was Chinese told you what they meant and put it on you. It's like probably, I just think the nastiest words: cunt, taint,
right,
suckle, ball, teabag.
Fuck you, brown skin, round eye. So back to this idea about technology going too far. Is because, right, we were talking about how you're reducing your skill set.
Right. Things become a little too easy.
Reducing the things that you remember because you don't have to remember it, and you're less likely to remember it because you didn't go through a struggle or a battle to learn it. So you didn't create the neural pathways that you otherwise would have. Instead, it's just at your fingertips. You just absorb it, regurgitate it, and then you move on. That being said, science has shown again and again, medicine has shown again and again, that the best way to keep your brain elastic and healthy is by learning new skills, picking things up, you know, doing all that kind of stuff, exercising it. Despite what people think, the brain is not a muscle, but it is like a muscle in that if you exercise it, it will get stronger, and if you fail to exercise it, it will get weaker. So if we're creating all this technology that we don't have to exercise our brain, we're effectively turning our brain to mush, no?
Yeah, I could definitely see that argument.
Furthermore, if we're not exercising our brain or we're letting it atrophy, we're affecting our epigenetics, which is to say that we're affecting our DNA, and that affects the DNA that we pass on. In the long run, we are affecting our very own evolution, possibly in a negative way.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that there are people who live in rural areas and probably don't get nearly as much screen time. They farm, they spend their days outside, or there's even dudes who like have cabins out in the woods and live off of the land, like they choose to live that way, and they say they have very fulfilling lives. It's like way better for them, which I could see that with nature. I don't feel like there's any way you could be like, this system doesn't work. That system totally fucking works.
It's been working.
It's been working. It's just a dangerous system. Like this dude who lives that way, he has a wife and kids out there. He lost one of his babies when his canoe flipped over. Like, that was a real thing. That was like a real risk that they just have to take. They have to get in the canoe and fish, and like.
How different is that than getting in a car wreck and your infant is injured.
Right.
Or
yeah.
somebody is killed or injured. That, I mean,
yeah, totally. And
accidents happen.
Totally. So, you know, you're it's still like mortally dangerous to be out in the woods, possibly more, but how much more than in the city, really? Like, the city's a dangerous fucking place.
Yeah.
So, I would argue that, yeah, if you get away from technology, you might be a healthier, happier person at this point in history.
So, an interesting twist on that is, if you live in the country, you're probably more connected to nature. You probably are more open to it. You're probably much more aware and conscious. You probably save things. You know, if you live out in the country, you're more likely to reuse items. Use paper bags instead of plastic because they have uses out on a ranch or out in a rural area. You're more likely to do those kind of things. Pinch pennies here and there because you have a longer drive, so you need, more gas and all of that. And you're working the land, you're eating off of the land, so you might have a tractor and stuff to help you work the land. So that's cool, you're cultivating your own stuff. However, when you live in the country, you cost more to support on average and cause a lot more pollution on average to support because of that farther drive and having to run electricity and plumbing out there. Whereas that's the upside to living in a city is, the grocery store is not 25 minutes away, it's 3 minutes away. A lot of people can walk to the grocery store. If you live in a rural area, you're not walking anywhere.
Totally. Absolutely.
So that's an interesting trade-off. Like,
Yep.
What do you do?
I mean,
is that something technology can solve? Technology.
I feel like as humans we can work out the kinks. I don't know exactly what that looks like. I feel like, at a certain point when we realize...
Later, Mike. Sorry we'll talk about other stuff later, man. Peace.
So, if we realize, like, the exact dangerous effects of the internet and having monitors around us at all times, being able to have monitors in our fucking eyes and shit, well, once we get to that point where we'll probably realize how dangerous it is and teach our kids from a young age how to incorporate it in life in a healthier way. At least this would be what I would like to see, because I've done the virtual reality headset thing. Have you ever done that before?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Dude.
Oh yeah, a couple times.
Dude, shit's fucking amazing, and that's only one sense that it's taking over. It's just your sight gets taken over. You don't have smell, taste, touch, none of that shit, but you feel like it's fucking real. And
it's not even a very real image. It's all pixelated and looks like Dune almost. Remember Dune?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It totally looks a Nintendo 64 like.
Yeah.
But if we've gotten to the point where that's available, that's going to advance, and that'll be dangerous as fuck if people only put that shit, like, that's disorienting. I don't know what's happening to your brain. I'm not a psychologist or a scientist. I just, instinctively know that this is going a dangerous direction. And I think it's also going a very positive direction. It could do a lot of wonderful things. Like, people could probably train in a virtual world and gain skills in almost real life scenarios, like SWAT teams could get way better training with
that makes sense.
With the headsets, and they don't have to actually hurt anybody. It's like you could be put in the most dire situation and you're actually not at risk and nobody's actually going to die if you fail the mission. It's like,
right,
we're training you right now. I think that could be very useful. And who knows what other ways you could teach people through the headsets.
Well, definitely, I mean, they use things like that anyway for training, flight simulation, NASA guys have. I mean, isn't that considered VR when you get into the big machines that are on the the hydraulic stuff, and you're inside it? There's like 12 of you, and there's the screen playing, and it isn't that considered virtual reality also? Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, they've been doing that kind of training for pilots and NASA. Probably some sort of submarine training is done that way also, I'll bet. I would love to see where that goes. I think it would be fantastic if they could... See, I have better hopes for VR than video games as far as being healthy because, first of all, I would be more into video games if I could wear a headset and run the fuck around. Right. Straight up, dude. Like, that's my whole problem with video games. I thought they would go... I literally, in high school... the counselors and stuff were trying to get me to take the Cisco's programming deal class, and I thought, for fucking computers, what? Dude, those things are gonna go out of style, man. This whole video game shit, like people are gonna find out what it's like to go out and throw a baseball in real life, bro. And when that gets boring, and then try it. Whoa. And when that wears itself out. I mean, dude, you got 10 years of each before they get old. You know what I'm saying? So you're good to go. But virtual reality, though, the idea that I can throw the baseball, what I mean, or whatever, that I can run around and do all the jumping like Link.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, totally.
And I can do the if I jump really high, I can activate the Mario. And
okay, so here's what's dangerous. When I play Skyrim, I will wait until I am almost going to burst my bladder before I actually go to the bathroom. I'll not eat for long periods of time.
Why? Really?
Yeah, when I had it near me, I would definitely do that shit. I played look out of that game. I can pause it anytime I want to. I can save it any moment, anytime, doesn't matter, yet I still will wait till I really, really, really have to pee because I'm ready to get the next thing done. Like the game really just pulls you in. And so, it's first person and you can interact with anything that isn't nailed to a wall, which is pretty similar to real life.
Okay.
Yeah. The difference in real life is I can take shit down from the wall and whatever, but it's almost real life, except you can cast spells and there's dragons.
Right. Okay.
And instead of working a job, you just go into a cave, you kill some fucking goblins. There's a magic item at the end of that shit. You had a buttload of fun, and you're rich as fuck now. That life is working out way better in the world of Skyrim than it is in the day-to-day grind in the outside world. You put a fucking virtual headset on people and they can enter a world like that, we are fucked. They don't want to come back.
Dude, I just realized where my next million is coming from, Holmes.
What?
Adult diapers for college kids and bachelors. Not for old fogies, but for, video game aged people.
Right.
And they'll be like...
you're going to be playing that game much longer than you should.
Yeah.
You won't be able to make it in time.
I'll sell them as a package. The energy drink hat and straw holders with the adult diapers.
Right. Because when you're in the hologram, you won't be able to take off all of the sensors and shit.
No.
You're fucking.
Yeah. The food. It'll be a special drink. One on each side. One has the caffeinated and guarina and toluene and all that vitamin B complex, and on the other side we'll have vitamins, it'll be heavily packed vitamins and like an Ensure, but with more vitamins. That way it kind of because you don't want to have runny turds, you know what I'm saying? You want them clumped up, and the more vitamins and minerals, the more clumpier they'll be. So it'll be, it'll just make your diaper work a little bit better. And so we'll say that the diaper is guaranteed if you use our system.
Right.
Okay, but if you don't use our system, we can't really guarantee that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
It might be a little too runny, you know.
This just made me think of the idea, like in any virtual game you're playing, they should have a pause mode, and instead of taking off your gear, you can just set it to bathroom, and the virtual headset will like guide you to your bathroom. Make like a virtual apartment.
But it's set up to your apartment, and then the hackers get a hold of it and retwist it, so you end up walking in a circle and pissing on your old lady. Yeah.
So, moral of the story: it's dangerous. Dangerous
so
stuff.
So dangerous. Trey and I did one at the mall, I don't know, whatever, down the way. It was fucking bad, dude. We were doing this Terminator thing, but it was one that you had to actually sit in, and then you put the head, so you could turn your head whatever, and it looked, but the thing you sat in made it so it was like you were riding on a robot or some kind of like, you know, killing machine.
Okay.
And wherever you looked, there was, you know, the crosshairs was just in your field of view. And so wherever you looked is where you were aiming, and you had little joysticks that you know, push like that. Their aiming needed to be calibrated better. I'm just saying, dude, I was nailing shit. There's no way Trey beat me. Dude, but I was totally like, I was having a lot of fun. And they did have a warning that said, watch out for, like, you could get sickness, like motion sickness, I guess, more or less. You know, they were saying you can just close your eyes and whatever. So I was, you know, you could probably get VR sickness. What if that was a thing, you know?
Yeah, dude. I mean,
they made a movie about it.
You could tell the headset I used, the Oculus headset, this was like beta testing type shit, you know?
Word.
And
was it Danny's?
No, this was actually at the Weber's house.
Okay.
When I went to hang out with them, yeah, we fucking freaked out on the Oculus headset.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, one of them, there's a few where you're just watching. You literally don't do anything. It's not really a game. It's like an experience. One of them is a giant robot attacking a building you're in. So,
rad.
So you're, like, standing in a building with the window. Robot fucking, like, cracks the side of the building off. And you're, like, standing above ground. And you're, you know, you can see all the way down and shit. And eventually in that thing there's like aliens involved, like the robot gets shot down and the mothership comes up and the mothership gets shot down, so you sort of like go up into the mothership gets shot down and you start falling. And I saw this happen twice, right? I can see it on the computer screen, I just don't have the headset on. I saw two people go through the experience. First dude, my friend Justin, motherfucker was like, no, can't do it. Like, he was like, that's too fucking freaky.
Wow.
Like, you could tell his equilibrium was off. I knew that this was going to be freaky by their reactions, and still, like, it was hard to not move. It was hard to be like, you know, I'm not falling right now.
Right. Okay, the one I did was not even anything like that at all. It was. So the first time I did one was Danny had. I'm pretty sure it was his. You know, you just put the cell phone in there, and you're wearing it, and you're like it's basically you're on a roller coaster.
For sure.
And that was it. You're just on this roller coaster. The image quality is not the best. I mean, it's clean and crisp, but it's, you know, it's, like he was saying, 64 style.
I hear the phone versions are actually kind of the, you know, some of the weakest versions, just because, like, with the Oculus headset, it is literally your peripherals are
That's
very much covered, too. Like, it's just like being inside of whatever's going on.
That's rad. I would definitely want to try that.
Yeah.
But this one, I got, you know, woozy, almost knocked off balance a couple of times, just standing there pretending, you know, Just like you're on a roller coaster and like, whoa.
See, yeah, that shit fucks me up. I remember my parents telling me my whole life not to go too close to the TV screen. And now it's like, we're going to put that shit right in front of you.
And here's what it does to you.
Here's a vice that keeps it right there.
Yeah, dude, right. Right. That's pretty funny. I remember that too. I actually am still known to tell my kids to back up from the TV. It'll hurt your eyes. How, Dad? It's just light, and it doesn't even have radiation in it. You know what, you little fucker? Back up because I said, or I'm turning that bitch off. That's why. Yeah, I'm that kind of a parent. Shit. Well, not that conservative, I guess. I am smoking weed on a YouTube channel. Nationally broadcasted for Mike Maccabee. Just call it like it is.
Hey, you know,
got to animals.
I'm sure some people on Facebook that are trying to spy on me will look at this. You know,
nice.
Give us a couple of views.
Yeah.
Dude,
I hope there's people spying on me, man. Like, you know, I've always thought about how much work a stalker has to put in.
I think mild stalking is something all of us do a little bit. Like, you ever been on Facebook thinking of like, remember that chick from high school? I'm gonna see if I can look her up real quick. You ever done that? Never.
Nope, I've never looked up anybody that.
Damn.
Just people that I know, and if I get a friend request or if they've, a lot of times I'm not really even sure how I got the friends that I have. Like.
I get curious about old homies' lives and ex-girlfriends and shit. I get a little curious. Sometimes I look for them, and I realize when I do that, somebody might be doing the same thing to me. Someone very well could be doing that to you right now.
That's pretty rad, just in case. This is what you're missing if if that's what you're looking for. If not, and you think I'm an asshole. Yup. Yep. This is what you're missing. Yeah. This is my asshole face. Right here, look at it.
It's pretty good.
Thanks,
I would
dude.
definitely think you're an asshole if I was just...
How about this one?
Yeah. You were unhappy about whatever situation. It is not up to standard.
Yep.
This not up to fucking standard, bro.
Unsatisfactory. Fuck that shit. What were we talking about?
We were about to talk about animals.
Animals, dude.
What's your favorite animal?
Fuck, dude. Okay, right now my favorite animal is definitely the octopus.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
For a lot of reasons. I've been giving it a lot of thought. So in the past, dude, I've been giving it thought my whole life, bro. Like, you have no idea. A lot of people would have told you that a scorpion is my favorite animal. And it's very close. It's very close up there.
Scorpions are dope.
Jaguars are mad dope. Not just any old, cat of the, big, but jaguars, right? And I got it. Dude, reasons for all of them, bro. Mad reasons for all of them. And that's basically, anacondas are sick. But that's basically how I ended up with the octopus is... okay. And birds, dude, the fucking... Oh, my God, the... the egrets. Those things, oh, my God. And, dude, they're fucking ridiculous. They're so sick. Anyway, so yeah. All right. Everybody likes birds. Right, that sense of freedom and being able to fly and all of that is truly, truly incredible.
Right.
Right, and it's beautiful, it's majestic, it's awe-inspiring, all of that. But it just seems so cliche, and all the birds, like, oh, really? You're doing something like, hey, that one does the same thing. That one flies. Oh, guess what? That one flies. Oh, that one flies too.
What about penguins?
They fly underwater, bro. That's what they say about manta rays, okay? If they can say that about manta rays, I can say that about penguins. Are cool just because they look like little missiles. They don't give a fuck. They're so sexually deviant. A lot of studies have come out about just how ridiculous they are, to the point where, like, they will homosexual up and then kill hetero families and steal their babies to raise them.
What the
shit?
bro.
Yeah, bro. They're on some wild shit.
Damn, penguins.
Necrophilia, rape, the whole shit. That's not why I like them. I'm just saying they're interesting because of that. I mean, dude, they're secluded. You know, it's just like, and they all look the same, and they're all just huddled around and doing the same shit for 3 months in the dark, you know, and then they got to go swimming, and that's all it is. I mean, you got to be kind of crazy. It's all freezing cold, you know. Like, dude, I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it. But no, so, you know, birds, I just don't know, man. And they're cool because that's where dinosaurs evolved into. And crocodiles are dope. They're super sick. They're actually closer related to birds than they are to lizards. They're very closely related to dinosaurs as well. It has to do with their ankle bones and their skulls, if anybody wanted to know. But the reason, okay, so scorpions, right? Here's the thing. They're terrifying to the average person. Way more terrifying than spiders even, than to the average person. And for good reason. And, you know, they all have that that glow in the dark. You know, if you, the black light, if you shine a black light on a scorpion, they'll show an off color, a really neat, you know, eerie glow. You know, they're pinchers, they're pedipalps, they're arachnids. A lot of people don't realize that they're closely related to spiders, vinegaroons, all those, you know, whip spiders, all those things. They, you know, they have the 8 legs. Those front 2 things are pedipalps. Okay, a lot of people think that baby scorpions are more poisonous and more dangerous than adult scorpions. And that is not true. When they talk about a baby animal being worse than its parent, they're talking about snakes. Because snakes have to store their venom for important times. And adults have learned not to waste venom on protecting themselves, that they can do a dry bite that will scare away would-be predators or harm, you know, without wasting any precious venom. Scorpions don't really have that problem, okay? What they mean by scorpions is the ones that are skinny, often very small, and have very skinny pedipalps. Those are the pinchers. So the skinnier the pedipalps and tail are, the more powerful its poison is, because that means he does not have very strong pinchers.
Right.
The larger scorpions have stronger pedipalps and short, fat tails. Their venom is very painful, but it's, you know, nothing compared to, you know, like a bark scorpion or something like that.
Right, right.
And that's why, because they can pinch you hard enough to make you bleed, though. That's the difference.
Right,
you know?
totally.
I like them because they have been around on the planet unchanged since the time of the dinosaurs. So they obviously have a working system.
Right, for sure.
It works. That's one of the reasons I like the crocodiles and the anacondas. Their system works, and it will probably continue to work. Crocodiles, like, never get sick. They're immune to so many different things because they've been around for, like, 100 million years, something like that. So, I mean, they are hardy beasts.
Truly enlightened beings.
Yeah, that's what I like about them. But really, I ended up narrowing it down to octopi because, in my opinion, they are, from everything that I've read and seen about them, they are probably the smartest creature on the planet besides people.
Wow.
I really do think that. I really do think that when we made the Planet of the Apes, the movies, how fucking lame. Like, that's not creative at all. We live on a planet controlled and run by apes. We are apes.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So Planet of the Apes is not creative at all. But what would be the next evolutionary thing? Right?
Planet of the Octopus.
The planet of the fucking octopus, dude. And so they're seeing, and because they've been studying animals of all kinds for a long time now, they're able to see that animals are evolving before our very eyes. Their behaviors are changing, sometimes adapting to people or adapting to the pressures that we're putting on their environments. And octopi are no different. So there are places where they're being, so octopi traditionally are very solitary, okay? But in certain bays around the world where overfishing is reducing their supply of food, the octopi are having to live in closer quarters with each other, often occupying the same burrow. Okay, which really is very new to the science of octopi, which I'm going to start calling octopology. And I make no octopology about that. So, this presents a very, very interesting thing. For years, they have observed octopi in captivity learning from each other. Okay? Something that presumably never has happened in nature.
Wow.
But now that they are living together, they have been observing each other.
For sure.
So they are aware of things that other animals are not aware of. Not even dolphins are aware. And I don't understand how they come up with these things. It's all psychology and stuff. And when they say it, it makes sense to me then, but then I can never remember and explain it. But they know things about themselves and about the world that presumably dolphins don't even know. Okay, and so, or chimpanzees for that matter. So to me, that's pretty interesting that they're in this. We are forcing upon them opportunities to create a culture, because that's what a culture is, right? When you observe others of your kind doing something and then repeat it,
right?
And everybody in your area is doing that, that becomes a culture.
Right, yeah.
And
absolutely.
then, at what point do they start figuring out that they are teaching each other stuff? Because if they are aware of themselves on the level that science is claiming them to be, like monkeys, chimpanzees, they are not actively teaching each other stuff, is what a lot of psychologists believe, that they are actually, this one is successful, so this one's watching and learning for his own benefit, and this one just doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
Whatever.
Uh-huh.
But if octopi are more aware of things,
they'd be like, yo, man, check this out. Like,
yeah.
They actually start teaching each other some shit.
Yeah. What F, dude? What the fuck F, dude?
Yeah, it's a gnarly scenario. I would hate to have to carry a harpoon around because they figured out how to fishbowl themselves on the land. Dude, I mean, they start trying to take over. I'm sorry, octopuses, but I'm gonna take out as many as I can before you get me.
I will calamari that shit.
Yeah, y'all's are too delicious when I deep fry you for me to let you take over my land.
So
stay in your ocean, octopus.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I'm just playing. I love you, octopus.
Dude, what a great hug that would be. Just
with all the suction
wet arms. Oh, gross. Gross, dude. Man, but
you're
seriously though.
Me. That's all. You're breaking ribs. Please stop.
I mean, would the giant octopus automatically be in charge of everything? Or would it be like the little guys? And then would they go and make friends with the cuttlefish and the squid also? I feel like squid are snobs.
Snobs.
Yeah.
Snobs.
Yeah, I feel like they're shitheads.
Yeah, I agree with that. The bros of the octopus land.
Yeah, dude, they're just all, with that nose, just all, with their big ass eyeball, just looking around into everything, just. What are they thinking about? What are they doing, bro? Like, all hanging out in their little teams all the time.
Thinking about getting their ass whooped by a camouflage octopus.
That's right, dude. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel like I should probably take a shower and maybe make some geese, so we should probably wrap this up. But before we leave, my favorite animal, bears.
Why?
Bears, bro. They're fucking big, hairy, and terrifying.
Did you know they're in the same part of the evolutionary tree as dogs and pigs?
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one shaved. It looks like a big dog.
Gross. Cool. That's pretty dope.
Fucking horrifying.
That's pretty dope. Yeah.
A shaved bear is way scarier than a hairy bear, oddly enough.
What kind of bear do you think Baloo is supposed to be?
Grizzly?
It's supposed to be a Himalayan brown bear.
Right, I suppose he didn't eat, what's his name immediately.
No. Well, yeah, Himalayan brown bear.
Okay. He just seems so big, I assume grizzly.
Yeah, and so in real life, bears in that area are not that big.
Okay.
But there's like 3 or 4 species of bears in that area, and they're mostly insectivores.
For sure. Well,
so you learn a little, laugh a little.
Yeah, much love, y'all.
Peace out. Oh yeah, Chain Store is playing tomorrow. They're opening for Stevie Stone at the Black Sheep.
Yes.